Huh?
Anyways, this is the Unabridged podcast.
All of that will be deleted before Channing spoke a word.
Yeah.
No one will ever know what we were just talking about.
We don't talk about that.
Just give me...
So,
yeah. I told you it would be. Talking to your microphone.
I know, but like... I'm gonna puke. Oh my gosh. That's awful.
Don't look at it.
Speaking of puking, we're gonna...
Just so you know, Channing, we still don't have headphones on, so you're going to have to speak louder than you think you're talking.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to turn myself down in here so I don't think I'm
Yeah.
louder than I am. Okay, so let's talk about beans.
Beans?
How do you feel about beans?
Beans, nothing but beans.
Parsley, rutabaga.
I only think about that, like, me and the boys at 2 a.m. looking for beans meme. That's like when someone says
the
beans.
boys at 2 a.m. looking for beans.
That's the only
Dude, that's
thing I
like
can think of.
Literally me.
Or like the beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So let's eat beans with every meal. You guys ever heard that?
I don't know if I've
In the
heard the
past.
second half, but I heard the first.
That's
From
all I think
atheists.
about when I think of beans.
I'm kidding.
Dramatic.
And about Cafe Rio.
I'm going to be honest, I don't love beans.
Just like
Yo.
beans in general, or...
I'm
What
sorry.
about ones with brown sugar and stuff in it? You're from
What?
Texas.
Wait,
You're from
what?
Texas.
Brown sugar on beans? I've never heard of this.
Oh, you're talking like
You never heard?
Wait.
You never had baked beans?
with like some.
I've had baked
bacon
beans,
and
but not
stuff.
with...
bacon, dude.
I know what you're
Caramelized
talking
bacon,
about.
friggin' brown sugar up in the.
Just
Are
bacon?
you kidding? You've never had.
I've never had that.
You've never had refried beans? You're
No.
from Texas?
I've
This
had.
man
I
is
have
not
had
from Texas.
Okay, hang on. I've had refried beans. I have not had refried beans with brown. What frick?
Didn't nobody say nothing about cinnamon?
Sorry, brown sugar. What is it? What did you say?
You never heard about, bro? People put brown sugar on bacon. They put brown sugar in their beans. Sometime it depends on what flavor you go. You've never heard of brown sugar on barbecue?
When have I ever acted like a Texan?
You keep reminding me that.
Anyways, do you have more thoughts on it, John Mark?
I
don't want to hear his thoughts on beans.
I think
No more.
the only reason why I would use beans is when making a taco, if I really don't want the taco to fall apart, because beans are the only way that stuff stays in the taco because it sticks to it.
Incorrect. Sour cream is the foundation for all things.
I put sour cream on top. I don't put it.
What?
I haven't used sour cream.
This is
on, like,
this is what's gonna
anything.
make us like hate
No,
each
no,
other.
no,
not
no,
even
no.
not even the
Sour
actual topic
cream.
of the episode.
No, sir. Sour cream is the foundation of all things good. Jesus and then sour cream.
No,
okay,
it's not.
no, I love sour cream.
But you put it on the bottom. The meat sticks to the sour cream. The cheese melts onto the meat. Everything falls upon the firm foundation that is sour cream, John Marcus.
See, it's not my choice though because that's just how my mom made it.
Well, she.
What you want to say
Yeah,
about my mom?
Okay, that now he's acting like a Texan. I started saying something about his mom. He got mad.
What were you gonna say, Michael?
Is there implied meaning from what our answers are to this? Like it reveals something about us?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean,
So do you need some sort of more like specific answer?
no, I mean, I know what I need to know.
Okay.
But you, John Mark,
So scary that you just said that.
well,
It's all the information I needed.
is this just beans in general, or like, is it just
Your question,
is it
bro.
just all beans? Or?
I'd say my favorite type of beans is probably baked beans. Or no, beans in like
Bushes.
but like why'd I say like the what's it called? Like the bean sauce. Like what's the bean
Like chili?
sauce?
Bean sauce.
I don't
Bean
know.
soy
sauce?
sauce?
Not soy sauce. The like I
Like
guess
at
bushes.
Mexican restaurants.
What do you continue? I don't know what I'm saying.
What kind of beans? Like
I
just red beans, black beans, soybeans, pinto beans, or
Dude, butter and salt
Green
and stuff on
beans.
some
do like green beans.
green beans? Okay.
lima bean.
I'm a bean.
Lima beans with like all the mess on
Probably.
Remember your veto power, Channing.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can shut us up at any time.
Yeah, I can do that. I contemplated like loading a Nerf gun before the episode,
I can help you out with that.
or like getting an air horn.
Don't use
but
the Star Wars
it's
one. It's
past 10.
literally so weak and it would not even reach me.
I'd probably
because
do
you're
better
gonna
just
probably have to
throwing
shoot me.
Nerf darts.
So what was the purpose of the bean question?
Beans. So I like asking people. Like one of the first things I ask people is like, "Yo, how you feel about beans?" because you'll learn a lot about a person based on what their answer is, and like
What did you learn about me?
you're a fake Texan.
So true, so true.
But like you figure out like where they're from, like what ethnicity they are, what their home life was like, because like that determines what kind of beans they like.
Because I started freaking.
Use your mic, Gabe.
I'm sorry, my bad. That's so true because I started reminiscing on
Yeah,
salt and butter lima beans.
I was like, I didn't have to ask Gabe what like.
You
it's
just
pretty-
got his residual response.
You just knew.
Residual.
And then
I'm sorry.
Can't do that to me.
you find out Micah's
The pulp is coming back in the cup.
definitely active on social media. So
Sometimes.
sometimes
I really love deleting social media.
he was a meme lord once upon a time. So
Were you? Oh my god.
I heard
You're-
only on PewDiePie's subreddit. I had a couple viral memes.
We're learning new Michael lore. That's crazy.
no, literally, it's crazy.
I lost my Reddit account though, and then I never used Reddit again. I
Did you get
posted
hacked?
like dank memes all the time.
That's so sad.
on like the blurst images thing. What were you saying though?
Did you get like hacked
blurs?
on Reddit?
I don't know. I
Like,
just
how did you
lost. I
lose-
forgot my password.
I remember. I want to tell a mini story. I won't take too much time, but my Steam account got hacked, and whenever I was like 15 or something like that, and I had Subnautica. I had so many games. I had YouTuber's Life, and I lost all of that money because there was a guy who disguised himself as one of my middle school friends, and came into my like Steam DMs and was like, "Hey, I need help getting back into my account. Can you talk to this guy?" Like the Steam admin, and he was a very convincing Steam admin, mainly because I was 15. I didn't know what a Steam admin was, and so I talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, no. So your account is like being attacked, and so you need to give me your password and username." No way, bro. And then he was like, "So in order for this to work, basically, I need you to change. I need you to change your password and log out of your account." And because I was 15, I said, "Oh, okay."
Wait.
Led you to
Wait.
the fire like a freaking dog on a leash.
But praise God, because even though I lost my Steam account, Subnautica went on sale a few months ago.
That's
And
when his musical journey began because he couldn't play video games anymore.
Yes, I lost Subnautica, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
All heaven broke.
Should we turn off the AC?
Mm.
Wait, no, that light just turned off.
It did, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so
fine.
sad. It's fine.
Also, I just realized when I like am talking, I'm like putting my coffee mug right here. Is that like a yeah?
We
You're
won't
fine.
know until it's actually not that bad. Well,
You
now
know-
it is.
Dude, this preview
Can I
is
put my
like
orange
so.
juice over
Oh,
here
I'm
on the
drinking
table?
the tea now.
All right.
So the real reason we're here,
Oh.
let's talk about Calvinism.
Oh no.
What's that?
Okay, so
I was hoping this would be really simple.
yeah, okay, so I'm gonna boil it down because we could talk about a myriad of things when it comes to like Calvinism and Arminianism, whatever, however it's pronounced. But I'm gonna boil it down to one question because it always seems to come down to this: do you choose God or does God choose you?
Who do you want to answer first?
Wow, that's a deep thought.
Whoever wants to.
For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever believes in Him shall not perish, but like has eternal life. So you have to believe in Him. The only way to the Father is through the Son. Okay, so you have to you have to do it. God didn't have one of those spinny like those things on the internet where you can like put the names in on the spinny thing and click it and be like, oh, you're going to hell. You are going to heaven. That's dumb.
So, the Calvinist response to that would be, I mean, at least from what I've seen, am I Calvinist? I don't know, but
What?
well,
doesn't
okay.
know.
So the response would be that you do still choose God, but it's because He first chose you, and because of so one of the tenets. So
But He chooses all of us. So
the
that still means we're all going to
the
heaven.
tenets of Calvinism, they're kind of it's summed up in this thing called tulip. The first letter is
Say that again?
Tulip.
Tulip.
Okay.
like
So
the flower?
yeah,
It's an acronym.
it's an acronym, but T stands for total depravity, which means basically humans.
I believe in that part.
Yeah, so humans are
Yo.
completely
We
incapable.
live in the overflow, Mike.
wait, let him
so
let him
humans
explain.
are completely incapable of loving God, basically, or doing anything good.
We are evil.
We are evil creatures.
In a sense, we are born evil, but we can technically do good.
Yeah,
Because we
it?
can please God, therefore we can do good.
Wait, keep explaining it, Channing.
So the another one of the, I forgot which letter it was, but basically it's that the only way you can like actually choose God and like, you know, do anything good is through the direct intervention of the Holy Spirit, like in you.
Oh, okay.
So you do still choose God, but it's that the Holy Spirit decided like, yo, you're going to be able to do good. And the thing is, once he does that, you're not able to resist it. And so
if the Holy Spirit is saying you, like, he gifts the ability to do good, and if he gifts that ability to you, you can't do bad?
No, so there's three states of man. There's good and not good, and able to do bad, bad and not able to do good, and then good but still able to do bad, until our glorified state, which is then you're good.
The point
and
is
not able to do bad, right?
The point is saying God chooses you doesn't necessarily mean you don't choose God. That's all.
Can I provide my outlook?
Yes.
No.
No. So I think
we're just making
that one of the biggest issue. I don't know if this is necessarily controversial. I don't like denominations.
Yeah.
Like, period. Simply because I feel like denominations and different viewpoints of Christianity and of God and Jesus is basically humans trying to explain what is not explainable. And, like, the whole thing of Calvinism and, like, predestination and all that is that, like, they're basically trying to do something where it's like, God says in the Bible that not all things that God is not understandable to humans. Like, we cannot comprehend the fullness of God. So it's like, I feel like Calvinism is trying to comprehend this sort of like, oh, well, did we choose God or did God choose us? Did God create us? Like, God created us to be with him, but it's like, did we choose to be with him or did he choose us to go to heaven? It's like, who cares? Be a good person. Like, just follow God.
That's the question that I usually end up asking too whenever I think about this stuff is like, okay, what's the resulting action of your belief?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if you take it a certain way, like the resulting action of believing in something like Calvinism or predestination can result in like just a lack of urgency to your faith and to the gospel message, and I think that's sad.
It's distracting us from what actually matters.
Right.
From when I have thought about Calvinism in the past is that, like, the predestination is like when you were created, God said you're going and you're not, right?
Yeah.
And that's
complete crap.
That is just mess. That, like, I had a point when I started talking and then it just totally left, but like it's just like that's just mess. like
so I'm gonna kind of play devil's advocate.
That destroys the free will. That destroys the free will that God gave us in the garden.
So what about before I was like made in my mother's womb? You knew me, and all my days were numbered. Like
he knew if you would make it to heaven or not, but that's your choice. If you go to the like, yeah, when you were created in your mother's womb, God did not say, "This is a good one. He'll make it."
What about the repeated mention of like the elect and stuff in the New Testament?
The who now?
The elect.
I don't think that's not saying that you make it or you don't make it, because then that would.
What is it?
That would
what is
contrast.
Can we look up the context of the elect, because that could be like we're all like a.
The thing is,
that could be like we're all a royal priesthood or something.
The way you just framed it, Channing, proposes that the word elect means like chosen beforehand, but like, you know, whoever ends up being elected to be president is the one who ends up being president, not the one who was decided beforehand. The process still matters, you know? Like, whoever is elected as president
Romans 8:29
is the president. Whoever is elected as Christians or the saved people are the people who end up getting saved. It's not that, like...
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Also, not gonna lie, I do kind of like sort of have a solution to this, but right now I'm just kind of stirring the pot because we're on a podcast. So
Stirring the.
Yeah, we should clarify what defines
Yes,
Calvinism more still too.
okay.
But
Well,
I do
I'm just really focusing specifically on do you choose God or does God choose you?
right.
Okay.
Like
That's
we're
what
just
we're
going to
trying to
focus on that part of it. So for those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, in order that he might be the firstborn among many brothers. That's in Romans 8:29.
Okay. So it literally So it said elect to be. What, say that again?
For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son.
The image of a son. So in Genesis,
For
does it
those
not say,
whom he
let's make
foreknew.
man in our image? Basically saying, all man is in our image, so all man is elect.
I mean,
Wait, did you guys get the difference of the definition of elect I was trying to say, though?
The definition of what?
Elect.
Oh, elect, yeah.
Like, whoever is elected?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think that we just need to make sure, are we trying to say that elect implies that it's known beforehand? Because in my mind, I hear elect, and I just think that's who ends up being saved, not who is known beforehand, if that makes sense.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, and y'all are not making it easy.
Well, that's the point of a debate.
I don't like devil's advocate.
This is
of one of my classes.
Reminds me of Satan.
Yo, reminds me of the devil and his advocate. Yo,
You say
Anyways,
devil's
Channing,
advocate.
continue. We got to
I think of
remember
the Antichrist.
that
Let's see
our
what
host
this-
man is the Channing Bentley tonight.
okay. So, I guess I'll just kind of spill the beans. So,
Oh, we're back to being.
We got
it back around.
literally, okay. So,
Full circle.
Good. Oh, I just saw the delay of me spinning my hand. That was so
no,
weird.
it's so trippy.
like
But-
Gorilla DeVille.
so here's the thing: the debate, it always, like, essentially, it finally boils down to: do you choose God or does God choose you? And like, which one happened first? And the thing is, there's actually pretty good proof on both sides of it.
We choose each other.
Yeah, and so
I
that's
think
the
what it
thing.
boils down to is how do you get to heaven? How do you get eternal life?
Yeah, so are you saved because God chose you, or are you saved because you chose God?
God created us and chose us to be like that. Choose is a weird.
How do
is
two
a
people
weird
get married?
word because God.
Yeah.
No, I would say both because God chose us to follow Him, but we have to also choose whether we are going to follow Him or not.
Yeah, because it's by our belief in Jesus that we get to heaven, and the belief in what He did, not being a good or bad person. Because Christians do bad things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
And so
the key is
it's not
in
by
us.
works. It's not by works. Because people who do a lot of good things are going to get to heaven and say all these things. God, I did this for you. I even did things in your name. And He's going to say, be gone from me. I didn't even know you. So like the knowing Jesus is how we get to heaven. It doesn't have anything to do with you're good, you're bad. Come up here because it's not by works.
Come up here.
Dude, I think the whole like bride of Christ concept could actually be a good parallel, or the way I just said, how do two people get married? It's not one of their choice.
Yeah, it's both.
It's both of their choice.
Yeah. Wow.
Unless it's
so-
arranged marriage, but we're not going to talk
And I
about
mean, like,
But then
if
it's
we're
still their
actually the
choice to
bride of
stick it-
Christ,
Yeah, no, it is.
Stick it out.
Yeah.
if we're actually the bride of Christ, I think the Bible kind of implies that in a sort of indirect way.
Yeah, it's both.
And then if we also just clarify that we think the word elect most likely is like a defining thing of who ends up being saved versus like a predetermining thing,
Yeah.
then I feel like we kind of have a fair answer already.
Yeah, when he was saying about the bride, Ephesians 5
just
is
solved
like,
Calvinism.
In 20 minutes.
When I think of Jesus dying for us, that's like love is a choice. It's not an emotion, right? We've talked about that, I think, in the last one. Like love is not an emotion, it's a choice. Every day you have to either choose to love Jesus or choose to love the world, and that's where dying to self comes into play. So love is a choice, and so God chose to send His Son because He loves us, and that's choosing to love us and therefore sacrificing for people that He loves.
That was him dropping his slipper.
And so,
like Cinderella, it's the beginning of our love story.
And so, Ephesians 5, a husband is supposed to love his wife like God loved the church. He died for the bride. So, I think that God chooses us in love, and then we choose God in belief, and also in day-to-day relationship. And so, I think it's like a dece.
That's good.
Yeah.
But without you wrapping around God, you're not going to heaven.
Typically what happens, so I've actually had like this conversation with like multiple people, and every time it has gone exactly the same, except this time for some reason this was weird. But typically what happens is I mention Calvinism, and the person gets like extremely defensive of free will and that God doesn't choose you. That's typically what happens.
I mean, you look at the idea of free will, and
God, what?
Wait, say it again.
Huh?
So
They get angry
Gabe,
about free will?
No, Gabe, what he's saying is when he says the word predestined, people like, oh, they shake in their boots. And they go, no, I got a free will.
Yeah, predestined implies that you are set on a path and you cannot change it.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, no,
God made Adam. God made Adam. He loved Adam. Saw that he didn't need to be alone. When he made Adam and Eve, he said it was good. He loves them, but they sinned. So there's not like God can have a plan for you that will make you the most like the happiest and the most joyful you would ever be. And actually, before I came here, we were outside talking about that. God. You can marry someone who God didn't intend for you to marry, or someone that you're not even equally yoked with, and make it work. Like arranged marriages came up a second ago.
Yeah.
You can make it work because people do.
Yeah.
But I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm getting lit, y'all. I'm getting
we
hyped.
should
Gabe might actually fall under that camp still.
We should talk about
I might fall what?
What's it called? Soulmate? If we have time.
No.
Yes.
Soulmate's
Wait, we should put a pause on it.
No, I do want to talk about the soulmate paradox at some point in this.
Paradox.
I have a whole thing. Go ahead.
The soulmate paradox.
You want to do soulmates?
I feel like.
Because
I do want to talk about
my
the
mom and I
soulmate
argue
paradox.
about this all the time.
Yes.
Unless we're done. Are we done with this?
I think soulmates is a romanticized thing, just like Paris. Just like Paris.
Wait. Okay, let's wait until we're actually on the topic.
Channing, what's the move?
Well, typically what happens is they get like super defensive about free will, and they're like, no, God does not choose you, I choose God. And I'm like, does he? And then like play devil's advocate for like 20 minutes.
He chose everyone.
Yeah, and then
At the beginning of time.
At the beginning.
Just talk over us, Channing.
well, I mean,
It's getting hype, bro.
so actually no, we can talk about the soulmate thing.
About what?
The soulmate thing.
Can I say one last thought too?
Yeah.
I think sometimes people
I can't
like
see Micah.
think God knowing everything and God like causing everything. Those two like lines get like blurred into like a confusing thing. And in my mind, I would say, yes, God causes everything in a sense, like he's the primary cause of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that he knows everything that's going to happen makes it, in a way, like, yes, everything's predetermined because he knows it. But I would say at the end of the day, just because he knows everything doesn't mean he's causing everything, even though he is the ultimate cause.
That's his knowledge of what's going to happen, but he doesn't. Predestination is like you're putting it, like he's putting it in the GPS for you, and then you have to go that way.
Right, but since he knows it ahead of time, that's what I think predestined means in my mind, is in his knowing, not in his causing.
God is
But that's what predestination is that you're going to heaven and you're not. That's like...
Well, he knows, and so I'm saying, like, I think that's what it means.
That's pre-knowledge, but not predestination. That's like, John Mark, this is where you're going, and if you don't, like, and I'm going to make you go that way. And like, no matter how good of a person you are, no matter how much you believe in Jesus, you're going to hell because of your predestination. If I were God, this is not like, if I were to be God, I know if you are going to accept my son or not, and if you're going to go to heaven or hell, but I'm not going to force you to go there, because whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. So I'm not putting it in the GPS and making you driving the car there. I know where you're gonna end up though.
I had friends that still don't believe in Christ, and no, I'm still friends with some of them, but they did not believe in Christ. And I remember I was at work one day, and there was a dripping. It was at McDonald's. There was a dripping little coffee thing that was filling up a cup after a while because nobody was taking it out. And I was praying for my friends, and I was like, I really want them to experience your love, and I want them to, like, understand you. And so I was like, if this cup gets filled up by the end of my shift, if it overflows by the end of the shift, I will have, like, I will know that they have at least gotten the chance recently to see you, and whether they choose you or not. By the end of my shift, before it had gotten filled up, somebody took it away and threw it out. And I felt devastated because I was like, dang, that, like, not what I asked for. And so, because I know that there was a sign that they had not been reached that day, does that mean that I stop praying for them? No.
With the cup, though, I don't...
No, I know. No, it's a weird... No, it's a weird thing.
Well, that's like driving down the highway and saying, God... If there's a sign, if you love me, have a small bird be on the top of the power line that I drive under. So don't feel bad.
It's just an example.
It's just McDonald's coffee, bro. It's not that good. It's too hot.
God is big enough to do that, though. Gideon, like, but also he says don't test him. But also I feel like I've heard so many stories of where people do test God and he still shows up.
Testing is a weird word. It's not necessarily testing. It's asking for. Like, I was asking for confirmation, and so I like.
But from the coffee machine at McDonald's.
No, I understand that. It's an extreme, but it was just an example of even if you know something, that doesn't mean that you like. If God knows that you are not going to accept Him, does that mean He's going to stop chasing you? No. That's just Bible.
He can't, because his character wouldn't allow him to not love you.
And his character, it is not in his character for him to say that you are going to hell no matter what.
He loves his children, yo. He loves his children. He wants us to be with him. He wants to be with us, or he would not have created us. He communed with Adam and Eve in the garden. He wants to be around us.
Yes.
And it was Adam and Eve's fault that they were separated from God, which was the saddest part of the entire Garden of Eden story, is that they had to be separated from God. And honestly, that's also why I think that Satan hates us so much, is because he had to be, because of his pride and God like taking him out of heaven due to his pride. I think that's why he hates us so much, is because we get to have communion with the Father and he does not anymore.
Also because we're made in his image, and if you hate someone's father, you're probably going to hate their son. Because it's like, this person was raised by the person that I hate, so he's going to hate us by association.
Well, I mean, but I just think because he was the worship leader in heaven, he was in the presence of God, he was beholding his greatness, and now he's, the worst thing that we could be is separated from God.
That's what hell is.
That's like, like most people think it's like, I mean, like, there is like imagery of fire and all that, but I think the worst part of hell is going to just be like, I saw God
complete
at the gate, you know,
God.
like all this. I saw God and his glory, and then I was separated from it.
Yeah.
That's hell.
Well, the idea is like nothing. So what is good and what is bad? Like, what's good is just God and like his character.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have God, of course it's bad.
Whoa!
Let's get it.
We got the rave lights to emphasize.
I don't know if the viewers can see that.
Channing's closing remarks of the section on Calvinism.
I love the blue light.
I think that's our sign to transition, Channing.
I know, it's so delayed. Okay. Do we...
Channing? I actually think that was a very healthy conversation on Calvinism.
We did good.
That was surprisingly healthy.
Yeah,
I know, that's so funny.
Kind of disappointing, but yeah.
That you didn't convert us to Calvinism.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, basically.
Okay.
You're not a Calvinist, right?
Am I?
Channing.
We'll never know.
What?
So let's talk about soulmates.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on them?
Yeah. I'll talk when you tell me to.
What do you mean?
Who's your soulmate?
Are you drinking doo-doo tea again?
No, it's just tea.
Okay, cool.
With
Who's your soulmate?
What's a soulmate?
Who is your soulmate?
Define soulmate.
Dude, a soulmate is predestined. Yo! A soulmate is predestined for you, and if you do not meet and end up marrying that person, then you will never be fulfilled in a marriage.
I read this in this book last year, guys. Mm-hmm. You know, like the word SOLE means like one.
Yeah.
Yo.
So I think a better perspective.
Sole.
Shout out, what's it called? The Sacred Search. I forgot who wrote it.
That sounds like such a cool book.
The soulmate is the one person you should stay with. Whoever you do marry should be your soulmate versus I have a soulmate somewhere.
Yeah, because that would be like if you don't meet that person, you will never be fulfilled. You're not completing God's purpose for your life because you didn't marry this one person. Yeah. It does not say this one person is your person. It says be equally yoked. It says whoever you marry, treat her as Jesus treated the church.
Mate,
so it's like
SOLE mate.
And what we are learning in class actually is right. You even if you like, there's some people after they get married, they're like, oh, I think I married the wrong person. I don't think this is who God had for me. If you married them, they are now who God has for you.
That's deep.
And because it is a marriage covenant that is to never be broken and is seen as holy in God's eyes. And so that's actually kind of cool how like the predestination can also be connected to an SOUL, but I have not even thought about that. Like, this is your person, not this is the only person. Because you can fall in love with anything. Like, you can fall in love with anything, whether it's holy or not holy. And so, like, I could fall in love with anybody and be like, we can make it work. The calling of God that you have is gonna pull us apart as a married couple, but we can make it work. We can make it work. Just FaceTime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to be equally yoked, but it does not say that.
Maybe we give Gabe like a headset next time.
Yeah. Am I just talking too loud? Or
well, earlier you were talking like this far away, and now you're like.
Why do I do that? I do that when I sing.
I know. I'm like on VCB. You really gotta like condition yourself.
I did though. I did. I did
job.
a lot better on the first.
I'm so proud of you.
Thing.
Should we explain what VCB is? Everybody's like, "What's VCB?"
Oh, Victory College Band,
y'all.
Gabe made it.
Woo!
Mike so did Mike. Woo! Heck yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'm on 2 bands now.
Woo! Heck yeah, bro. Yee! So yeah, Cora was like, "Eat the mic," because she was like,
"That's what we've all been telling you for like a year."
Cora was like, "Your voice is so big, people need to hear it." And she was like, "For people who don't know you and they hear you like this,
they're gonna think you're shy before they meet you."
But she also said that might be good enough. She said that might be good enough for them who don't know me. But for people who do know me and have heard my voice, they're like, "Bro, I'm gonna punch you in the throat if you don't use it correctly." Yeah.
Channing, what's your thought on soulmates?
Yeah.
What the heck's a soulmate?
Like, what?
Oh, do you want us to actually answer that, or is that rhetorical? Okay.
What people usually mean by that? You should define what you think people usually mean by that.
In which you are to marry.
So in the context of Christianity, a soulmate is the idea of God has one person for you in the world, and if you don't marry that one person, you are disobeying God's plan.
Yo.
Which I used to believe. Can I talk about the paradox?
Sure.
Okay, so this is
romanticized.
It's so romanticized, and it's so paradoxical in nature because it actually doesn't make any sense, because factoring in human error, it completely destroys the entire concept of soulmates. Because let's say every person on earth, obviously disregarding the whole like Paul thing where some people aren't meant to be married, which I don't even know if that's true or not, but we'll disregard that for now. If every person on earth has a soulmate, that means that there is one man and one woman, and there's pair for each and every one of them. Number one, there's obviously probably not an equal number of male and female on earth, but
there is not.
Yeah.
But what about people that are called to singleness?
That are called to singleness?
Yeah.
We're disregarding that for now just because I don't know how to factor that in.
That's just
okay.
That
so this is in a world where every individual has a soulmate?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's a generalization, but in terms of the paradoxical nature, I keep on saying it because it's a fun word to say, but
Loves the word.
paradox is so fun to say.
And lore.
And lore.
Two favorite words.
The title of this podcast is going to be like, The Love Paradox and Calvinism.
No, because I actually want to make a
beans.
song called The Soulmate Paradox so bad. I just don't know how to present it. But basically, here's the concept of it, is that
Coming out in June.
If
What month is it?
it's August.
Next year, guys.
So if
happen.
every person has a soulmate and one person messes that up for everyone else,
Yo.
if I marry the wrong person, that means I married someone else's soulmate. And then that person,
You just messed it up for everyone.
yeah, and so it's just a domino effect where now nobody gets to marry their soulmate. So it doesn't make any sense.
Yo.
And if you want to fight me on that, it doesn't. You can't. Like, it's
Email
not
me
something-
at johnthemark@gmail.com.
That's not my Gmail.
Yeah,
And
something
I'll
like
never tell you.
I'm gonna tell my dad
It's
to get up
actually
in the comments
Jay.
and he will destroy all of you guys.
No, because
I
like
promise.
it's. I don't know if my dad's okay with me talking about this, but my dad got divorced.
I hope he is because
I'm going to talk about it. So my dad got. So the whole thing of like divorce, obviously God doesn't like divorce.
he hates divorce.
He hates divorce, but God turns
Divorce.
things around for good. Because if my dad didn't get divorced, I wouldn't be alive. Because
He makes good things out of bad things.
yeah, and so it's like
I mean,
it's
good job,
like,
buddy.
but then also if my dad married my mom before and didn't have his first wife, my sister wouldn't be alive. And so it's like, I don't know what that had to do with anything. I just wanted to talk about.
Yeah, the odds
Just wanted
of
to talk about divorce.
each individual existing are
I just want to bring
like,
that into the conversation.
so small, I feel like. But people have to exist eventually, you know, or it's like there's all these reasons. Oh, well, this one little decision and my mom wouldn't have met my dad, you know, or my dad would have died in an avalanche, or true story.
Bro,
mean,
my photography teacher, apparently his kids played with Nick Jonas.
Played with him?
As in, like, hung out with Nick Jonas when he was a kid. Like, when Nick
They
Jonas was, like,
played.
5, my photography teacher's kids were also 5, and they were, like, playing together.
Oh,
His
And
kids
so-
are probably working at McDonald's. It's so sad.
And he said something about,
I'm
like,
kidding. They're
about, like,
blessed and highly favored by the Lord.
he said something about how his about how Nick Jonas got stuck under a thing and his wife had to go save Nick Jonas as a kid, and I literally looked at her and I was like, if your wife didn't do anything, Nick Jonas would be dead. Like,
Whoa.
Dang.
Then we wouldn't have
Who would
Camp
sing
Rock.
Suck-
Camp Rock would
who
not
would
exist.
sing sucker?
Then we wouldn't have
I'm a
Camp
sucker
Rock, guys.
for you.
I love
John
that.
Mark would have
Nothing.
sang it.
I would have sang sucker. I would have written sucker.
John Bellion would have hit
Nick-
you up and been like,
Bro.
Like Nick Jonas, is he the one that?
Is that him?
Guys, I just
It's
realized
one of the
something.
Jonases. Sorry, let's get back on track.
Channing's hosting, and I feel like he still hasn't said that much on this podcast.
Well, I mean, I kind of ran out of material, so it's whatever at this
We
point.
changed his
'Cause we-
entire plan.
Because we
Yeah.
debunked
Let's talk about
Calvinism.
soulmates.
We
No, not gonna-
debunked
I did
Calvinism
no
in
prep
20
work for
minutes.
this. I just thought beans and Calvinism. and that was
Okay.
it.
That's all you had.
That has
Yeah.
to be the title.
Beans, Calvinism, and soulmates,
Calvinism.
and the soulmate paradox.
Beans, Calvinism,
No,
and soulmates.
that sounds like an episode title: Beans, Calvinism, and the Soulmate Paradox.
That's funny.
Wait, so do you get if the whole idea of what soulmate is typically understood as? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, is it real?
No.
No, we're asking you. No, you don't answer that with a question. You answer that with
What
opinions.
are you, a
Channing.
reporter?
With opinions?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
no fun.
What do you mean it's not fun? It's super fun to have
We're
opinions. 'cause then
interviewing
people
you
get
now.
mad at you, and then you get to not care. Go ahead.
Sounds stupid.
It's not stupid. It's amazing.
That's my opinion.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew it was coming. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what else is stupid?
Oh.
Super long podcast episode.
Literally.
yo.
Guys, we have like a minute. Wait, no, we have like 6 minutes and 13. I mean, wait.
Are we
no,
actually about to be
hold on.
done?
I have no idea.
That's crazy.
I mean, we got to save
Yo, last
some
time
content
we were like
for the next
biting
episode.
the bit at like a
True.
minute. An hour and 5 seconds. Or a minute. Oh, frick.
We have
I
30
need more coffee,
seconds.
That's
guys.
crazy.
I already had one of these. I crushed one of these before we even started.
How about we pick a release date of our EP before we end the podcast episode?
That's
So-
insane.
Yo.
We need to re-record
clue.
Gabe's vocal on Fairy Tale, I think.
Yeah.
And then-
yeah, we do.
And then, have you gotten your harmonies for Say Sorry yet?
We should do that tonight, just for
No
the heck of
way.
it.
What?
You just drank
I'm
a
not
bunch of
staying all
coffee.
day,
Dude,
bro.
recording with Gabe at night, like,
When else are we gonna record with him?
not at night,
Okay.
but
When are you available?
I have free time at some points in my life. Okay.
yeah.
Probably
No, let's pick a release date. It'll be like a fun little announcement,
Friday early afternoon.
and then we'll have
never-
something to do.
We never did our beat battle.
I made one today.
Never did it.
I didn't finish it.
Wait, what? Oh my god.
You guys want to hear my progress?
I don't know
Oh,
how to
no.
make a
yeah,
kind of a
we want to
goofy,
hear it, but you
beat.
won't hear
I'm
it.
scared.
Or maybe you will. I don't know. Are we actually pulling this up on the podcast?
Oh no.
We should end the next podcast with like an acoustic version of one of our songs.
Ooh.
That would be kind of funny. Or we could do it right now if you want.
I
But I
mean-
don't know if we have enough time.
We've never played any of our songs together.
I know. It could be like a little snippet for the, like a little teaser.
That fact is actually kind of wild. We've never all sat in the room and like had a real jam session with our
true.
own music.
Yo.
How should I?
Yo.
Oh, you really honed in on those freaking
How
on,
should
on
I-
the sample pack.
He just started
How should I put this in
today.
there? Just put my mic to the speakers. That's kind
You
of
could
terrible.
Also just
You could-
export it and then put it in post.
Yeah, we can just.
Okay, but I'll try to keep it close so we can like auto align it,
You
Channing.
guys know what
Yeah.
they're talking about? Because I don't know what they're talking
We might have to edit this part a little bit so it's less annoying to listen to.
Yeah, we can probably just bounce it and.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, I mean like edit the podcast so it's not just us talking about how we're gonna put this section in.
it'd be kind of funny though.
Let's abridge the podcast just a little
We're
bit.
gonna
okay.
bridge it.
No.
about. A bridge.
That goes against our mission statement.
Okay,
Should never
here we
be.
go. Here's my like beat I made today before dinner.
Put this in the David musical.
That's insane.
Dude, the anti-drop.
This is hyper pop, I swear. No, because why
It
would
sounds like lit Minecraft.
100 Gex would hop on that so quickly?
Did you MIDI that, or is that an ARP?
That's an.
And then I said, I'm gonna go get dinner. And I was like, that's kind of trash. But like, I feel like a couple parts of that could be a
That
vibe.
beginning
that-
part,
Like
bro.
this
kinda-
part.
I really like the
anti-drop
weird
kinda-
snare.
Honestly,
I need that too.
let's finish producing it, but like give it more of a John Mark flair and a crazy bass line, and probably would go hard. You know,
Just put it on 406B.
406B. We just go
406.
fully.
Oh yeah. So
move
wait,
on
do
hip-hop.
you want to explain that?
Oh, our third EP could be
Yeah.
There is actually a
406,
reason.
406.
and we just make it kind of
won't be living on the
Montana.
roof.
No, wait, hang on.
Also, for context, our first EP we started when I was living downstairs, and that was 206B, like the apartment
left
number. Now we're based in 306B.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, how do we keep this thing going and get 406? And then I realized Micah's phone number from Montana, the area code is 406.
No
so-
way, actually.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
And so
Yo.
and so the first song on that EP we should write all together and call it area codes. You know what? Do you know the chords to Rat Hole on ukulele?
Oh, we should show Gabe our rap verse,
We wrote a rap verse.
but let's do it as the outro. We gotta pick our
Yeah.
date as the song of the
wrote a
release.
rap
Like,
verse.
actually, I want to do that.
Yes.
Would you guys be okay with that?
Like a release
Small
date or a,
rap
A release date.
Because our
Guys.
release date needs to be like 3 weeks in
Why?
advance.
What do you think about
Yeah.
September 20th?
That's when I'm leaving to go
My
to
birthday is
Australia.
September 19th. We could release it on my birthday.
Well, we released it on Friday. That's why I'm saying the 20th.
Oh, we could do that day after my
As soon
birthday.
as I leave, you guys are like, let's drop the EP.
So,
So that we'd have to finish this
Going
in the
to
next like
Australia
4
on the
days.
20th.
Pretty much, yeah.
Honestly, that'd be
Oh,
a vibe.
right.
It's about
If
time.
you want to wait
I
until the
don't know if I'd
27th, that's also fine.
Be able to do that.
Oh,
Like,
that's true. I think if it's not released by the end of September, I will be kind of sad though.
that's fair.
At this point, you guys are just like part of the band with this conversation.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, this is the council meeting, and you're just here.
We don't talk to each other. Oh, are we gonna
Spotify.
have our own selves featured on every song?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, we're gonna-
depending on who's singing. So
interesting.
Whoever's singing on that song is featured. So like even if you're doing harmony, so like You Cry, it'll be featuring John Mark and Gabe. Rat Hole featuring Channing and John Mark. Back to You featuring John Mark and Ava and Gabe.
Sound Beast 39.
You have a profile already on Spotify. I followed it.
Yeah, you do because of Death of You.
What?
But you have his profile on Spotify. You should probably claim that actually.
What?
I'll tell you later.
What? What?
I can't tell if you're joking. Do you actually want me to explain what's going on?
What?
So basically,
What the frick?
since you were featured on Death of You, you have now automatically created a Spotify profile. So you have to download the Spotify for Artists app and claim that Spotify profile so that you can customize artist profile picture and stuff like that. And so nobody else claims it before you. So we need to do that before this podcast goes out.
Release date.
Release date.
That leaves
In the crack.
September 20.
If we want to do the 20th or the 27th, how much time? Ow.
Let's do the 27th.
How much time
That's my
do
sister's
we
birthday, I
have?
think.
How much time do we have until
Like a week
We have
and
to.
a half.
do you think we can get it done?
27.
I think so.
Which actually means I have 3 days to do it.
The 27th is the day.
Yeah.
Say I.
I
I.
mean, it's not really like
It's Gabe, are you cool with that?
Guys, I don't care.
Gabe's like, I don't know why I'm here.
we just need to get your final vocals recorded in like
Yeah, we
less than
gotta
a
get
week.
that vocal and then
What?
He's jobless. We're fine.
So we have to
Not for
post.
long.
We have to post the album 3 weeks in advance before it actually goes out. So we need to get your vocals recorded in like less than a week. Do you think you'd be able to do that?
and by recorded we mean we need to get it in early enough that I can actually mix it before then.
So like in the next 3 days.
Why are we doing this on the podcast right now? We're all
Because it's really funny.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
It's like the soft version.
Get out, get out, get out. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Get out. How long have you been stuck inside this rat hole? Floating around like a sheltered white-eyed tadpole. Need to skip town, go to Boulder, Colorado. Skiing down like a violin staccato. Cutting down, touch the grass and breathe some air like you're alive. 'Cause you're alive. Get out of here.